How we doing, team? Fraser here, aka Black Wiggle. Thanks, Elise. So we're going to go through another kids session today. So today you need a few odd objects around the house. We've got our deck of cards again, and then I've got some flashcards today just for the younger kids to help with a little bit of active learning, and then one or more pairs of socks. Basically, you need a pair of socks for each person that's going to play this game, and ideally different colours to make it easy to then differentiate whose sock is whose. We need a bucket of some description and a box, or vice versa, just something that will represent a home base for the game that we'll play a little later on, which we'll be practicing throwing, and then a bucket that will be our target to throw our socks into. Okay, so we'll go through a bit of a warm-up, have a bit of a play of a quick game, and then go through the sock toss game. Right, team, so we're going to go through a bit of a warm-up, so we can always go back to our friendly favourite, our Simon Says game. If you're doing it just yourself and one child, it's definitely beneficial or more fun if you get involved with it as well. Otherwise, it's directing them when it's just the one of them, not as fun, not as engaging. So have a bit of fun with them, act a bit of a fool, and then you both have lots of fun and get a bit of sweaty together. Right? So just doing the usual Simon Says right on the spot. Okay. The other alternative would be just see Simon Says running around in the space that you have. Okay. So outside, you've got various obstacles and various things to be aware of. So it just gives them a bit more opportunity to then become aware of those and build their environmental awareness with regards to the situation they're going to be playing in. And that way we minimize little risks and hazard by just seeing how they respond, and we can mitigate those things as they pop up. But also then they're less likely to trip over things if they become aware of them in a warm-up. Okay, so whilst they're running around, you can then add in things that just have reps in them. So involve their counting, because we're going to be counting a little bit later on. So it could be Simon Says hop on the left foot 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hop on the right foot 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do 10 star jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Simon Says reach down low, reach up high 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. Simon Says crawl around like a bear. And as I get down low, crawl around. Give them opportunities, give them obstacles. Simon Says lay on your stomach. Simon Says stand back up. Simon Says lie on your back. Simon Says stand back up. Simon Says walk around like a duck. So all those other ones we went through the other day. But otherwise, try incorporate some counting in there. And just main goal is just to get, again, heart rate up, breath rate up, a little bit of a sweat, then we're good to go. Okay. With the big kids, you can have a bit more fun with a bit more dynamic ones, as well as just some more formal exercises like the push-ups, like the squats, like the sit-ups, which we'll also use a little bit later on as well. Okay, so let's get into our first game. So essentially, as an extension of our warm-up, what we can do is do a bit of a relay or a race. Okay, so I've got my deck of cards, of which I've spread 10 out at this end. Okay, so good if there's 2 of you. You can do a race of first to 5. So the first one might be starting in our baseline bucket here. Okay, you're gonna run out, grab a card, come back. First to 5 wins. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go. You run out, grab a card, put it back down, and then keep going until you get 5 cards. Okay. So the reason why there's 10 out there is that it gives the opportunity, if there is a bit of competition, it is relatively fair. It could come down to the last card each and how fast they move. Okay. Second time through, can just be crawling back and forth. Okay. Third time might be a hop out, run back, and then a 4th time could simply be any other exercise that you want to go through. Okay. Have a bit of fun, get their suggestions as well, get those kids involved in thinking about what they can do and what they might have fun doing. Alright, so our first game, we're going to do our sock to throw game, where at the moment for the young kids I've just set up some flashcards. So it's just alphabetical. So what the goal is I'll place my cards down here. Okay, we'll start back at my home base. On 3, 2, 1, go. If we're having a bit of a competition, we'll run out. You'll stand behind a card. Okay, you'll throw your sock in the bucket. Okay, if you get it, you get to pick up the card. Okay, so you get your sock. You then pick up the letter, and before they return, they have to say the letter, say whatever the picture is as well. Okay, so it'll be F, fox, and then fox, and then I have to run back, place it in their home bucket, run back to the next card. All right, throw it in the bucket, get their sock up, G, and then it's go, G, get, go. All right, run back, and so on. Okay. Each time, so if you've got a large deck of cards, try once all of them are gone, put out some new ones, okay, and have it in different random orders. And then you'll find, even if you put the easier ones further out, what you'll find is they'll then have to be able to then throw a little bit further, so you can work on that accuracy of their throw. But for the younger kids, start a little bit closer. For the bigger kids, start a little bit further away. Or the alternative is for younger kids, I've got a big box down this end, I'll swap it over for the bucket. So the little kids play off the big box, so it makes it a bit more easier for them to achieve their rep on the throw. Okay, whereas the big kids can then throw it into the bucket because they probably have a little bit better hand-eye coordination than the younger ones. All right, so have a try at that, and then I'll go to a variation for the big kids. So for the big kids, let's get our deck of cards out. We're going to do the same exercises that we did last week. So for the suit and the number of reps is how many reps they're going to do before they then throw or get their card. Okay, so they're going to be successful. We can add a little bit more dynamic rules with this as well for the bigger kids. So the principle remains the same. We start back at home base, 3, 2, 1, go. We run out to a card. Okay, we then flip the card over. So we got 8 of spades. So we've got 8 push-ups. Okay, I'll go through the key at the end again. So I have to do 8 push-ups before I then throw my sock. Okay, if I miss, I just simply collect it and then go again. All right, if we want to make it a little bit more harder, we'll get the heart rate up, make it so they had to flip the card back over, run back, and then come back and try again. Okay, so with the exercises this week, so spades are push-ups, clubs are squats, hearts instead of a ladder run can just be star jumps, and then our diamonds can still be sit-ups. Okay, so I flipped over an 8 of spades, so I had to do 8 push-ups before I throw the sock. If I'm unsuccessful, I can either just reattempt it, okay, or otherwise I flip the card back over, I run back, and then start again. So those reps that I did on the push-ups just count for me personally, but you don't get to keep the card. Okay, so you can make it harder or easier. So first round you might just play it that if you miss it, you got to go again. Second time round, to add a little bit of complexity to it and intensity, if they miss the throw, they then have to then come back all the way to the start and then run back out and get a new card. Okay, so this rehashing on our push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. So with our push-up, we're going to make sure that our arms are set up in this athletic position. So like we're throwing or catching a ball, we're going to have them down here by our sides as we then lower ourselves to the ground. So hands underneath the armpits, body nice and long, pull yourself down, push yourself away. Okay, again, drop the knees down as you need to. Okay, or alternatively, we can elevate ourselves on the side of a couch or the side of a chair. Just make sure that your arm width isn't too narrow, so that way it makes it a little bit more challenging for those triceps if we do so. So keep those arms nice and wide, nice A shape or arrow shape, but at the very least, be athletic. Okay. With our squats, we're making sure that we're reaching those hands forward, sit the bum back. Okay, sitting down nice and low. Okay. Otherwise, again, to a seat. If they look like they're coming onto their heels too much, the seat just gives them that prop to then reach those hips back first. Okay. So what we don't want to see is those heels come up elevated. All right. So reach the bum back, reach the arms forward, sit down to the ground, then come back up. Okay. And then with our sit-ups, lying flat on the ground, hands behind the head, sitting up, touch the shoelaces, or again, like those other substitutes, we then go hands to knees, okay, or we simply do a curl up, okay. So if you get even reps, make sure you do even reps on both sides. If you get uneven, just make sure you do sort of half. So if it's 5, do 2 and 2, and then one side will just get a third rep, okay. So by the end of the time you do the exercises, that 1 or 2 extra reps you do on one side won't really matter too much. Okay, and then star jumps or any other cardio-based exercise that you can more easily count the reps for. Okay, just making sure that they coordinate their arm and their leg movements. So both arms and legs are moving out, and then they're moving back together. All right, just something that anything that gets that heart rate up for those hearts. So you can see I spread it out a little bit more wider than the flashcards before. So you can make this as easy or as hard as you want. Encourage the kids not to be overstressed when they do throw the ball. So it's a good way of building some resilience and getting them to bring down their stress, breathe before they then throw and take their time, okay, rather than rushing. So that rush can create some anxiety and then cause them to be less accurate. Okay, so give them opportunity to do their push-ups or their squats or their sit-ups or their star jumps. Take a deep breath and then throw the socks. Okay, so again, younger kids will use the letters flashcards. You can use numbers as well. You can even use the playing cards. They just got to recognize the number. Okay, they don't have to do the extra exercise. All right. And then with the big kids, we'll just play the deck of cards, and their extra exercise is doing the push-ups, the sit-ups, and the squats, and the star jumps. Okay. Another alternative to add some variety or some intensity to it is just changing the way they get to and from the cards. So you might have to hop out with your left foot, hop in with your right foot. Just keep it simple for the younger kids, and then progress it as needed for them, and then make it harder as you need or see fit for the bigger kids. There's lots of things you can do here. Again, give them opportunity to give input and choose the different ways they can get to and from, or even select different exercises for the card values. If you got Uno cards, same again. Okay, you can add some extra dynamic rules to that as well. I might get an Uno set for next week, and then we'll introduce some rules with our Uno cards too. All right. Let me know how you go. Have fun with that one. Black Wiggle out.